this is Lilly Lowe, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
All right, today's guest combines raw power with infectious hooks and emotional depth. Lilly Lowe is a Norwegian rock band grounded in melodic hard rock. Here to chat with us about their latest single, Haunted House, let's welcome Lilly Lowe. Hello, Lilly.
Hi.
So the new single, Haunted House, kind of dives deep into the shadows of the mind. What else can you tell us about this new track?
I really wanted to make a track that had like a heavy bass line, and I wanted to do something about mental health. So that's where the idea came up. But I didn't want to do like, let's make a song about mental health. I wanted to like wrap it into a cooler kind of paper, if that makes sense. And then I figured out like haunted house, that's like a nice reference to your mind. So that was the thought about it.
Very cool, very cool. So I'm listening to all the other tracks also you've released, over time. You got Wild, got out Demons, Puppet Master, and Glitter Gore. I mean, all really great sounding tracks, especially standouts for me was like Demons and Wild. Definitely shout out to your guitar player on those licks for that. Just sounded great. What can you tell us about him?
Thank you. The guitar player?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually on Wild. The guitar solo is by Trond Holter from Wigwam. So he was my producer on the previous album. So I want him to be like a part of the new one as well. So he played the solo on that one. And on Demons, it's Adrian, which is like the current guitar player with together with Stian. And they're all like great guitar players. I've been so blessed to be working with such great guitar players.
Yeah, I mean, I was really just blown away by some of the licks on here. Just really, really sounded great. So very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this project, I think, was formed after your solo debut at Grand Prix 2022, correct?
Yeah. Or, well, kind of. I started the Lilly Lowe project together with Trond. And we performed together at MGP. But then I wanted it to become like a band, and he had Wigwam already. And I started to like get band members, So this record is more like as a band, but the previous record is me and Trond. So it was always meant to be a band project, but the first was like created by me, and now it's more like a unity of the band.
Right, and it kind of grew as time went along. Yeah, definitely. So another question I had for you, with your vocals, do you do any vocal exercises, or do you have like a regimen or something to keep your voice in shape? I know some people do like, certain scales or certain things they drink or stuff like that, or some people just, do a couple screams of like, I'm good.
Yeah. No, it's kind of boring answer, but it's kind of, you just have to sing a lot, like now I've been having a really bad cold for like almost 3 weeks, and my voice is like, it's not as strong, because I haven't been singing. So you just have to sing every day. And then I have this big straw thingy that I use for actually it's this little guy. I use this in a water bottle, and then I just like blow on that while making harmonies, just to like warm up my voice. Oh. So before I wasn't that good with warming up, but now that I've gotten older and smarter and wiser, I'm really good with like warming up my voice. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of vocalists say that that's definitely what you need to do. And, I've seen that a lot back in the day when the younger vocalists come out and they're singing some really high, hard stuff. They're really pushing themselves, kind of painting themselves into a corner for when they get a little older. It gets a little harder to get to that point, right?
Yeah, and also like when you're good with warm-ups and learning new techniques, you can hit higher notes as well. I also my what's the word in English? Vocal teacher. I don't
Vocal
know.
coach, yeah, vocal coach,
Yeah,
yeah.
vocal coach. She also do like massages on your neck, and that helps so much. And also acupuncture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which sounds like really scary, but that helps so much. Like, yeah. So those two as well has helped me so much, like reaching higher notes. So it's a lot you can do just with like training and massages and stuff like that.
Very cool. Yeah. So another thing I want to ask you, is there any artists or bands that you would say maybe have influenced you, help you shape your sound, or kind of singers that you maybe model yourself after a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I had a lot. And it's very like um far from each other
Right.
because like I always loved Marilyn Manson, that's like someone I grew up with listening to, and it's always been like a big inspiration to me. Also like My Chemical Romance and more like the classic bands like Guns N' Roses and Kiss. But also on the other side you have like pop singers as Lady Gaga, which is basically a rock star. And same with Miley Cyrus. So I've been like influenced by rock and metal, but also like pop singers. So like the entire idea with Lilly Lowe is like mashing that kind of up, doing like heavy riffs and guitar solos and everything that's so freaking cool with rock and metal, but then doing like more songwriting like pop do. So more like catchy hooks and stuff like that. So it's a lot of like influences for me.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that in the songs. Definitely, it's like you said, it's like a poppy vibe to the vocals, but the music is very very hardcore, like rock/metal, just with
Yeah,
some really tasty licks in there for sure, definitely.
thanks.
So another thing I wanted to touch on, obviously nowadays with the growth of AI and all these crazy things coming out all the time, um, AI, actually dropping songs on Spotify. I had a guest on the show a couple months back, that AI actually created a song under their profile that they didn't have anything to do with on Spotify.
Oh
So,
my
I
God.
mean, so I just wanted to get your take on this a little bit. With the growth of AI, does that concern you as an artist? I would think it would.
Yes and no. I mean, we don't know how it's gonna evolve. But I think maybe this is naive, but I don't think it can create the same emotional stuff that humans can do, if you know what I mean. And for me, like I can use like AI to like pitch ideas and stuff like that, but it can never like try to ask ChatGPT, write a song about blah blah blah, and it's so freaking bad, because it's
Right,
like yeah, but it really is.
right, right.
It's not
And
like evolved yet, but it might become smarter,
yeah, I
you know.
totally agree with you. There's not that emotional dimension and connection with any of that, and that's what makes great music, right? When you write a song and it reaches your audience in a way, or they relate to it, or there's an emotional response from that. I think that's what makes great music, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. So yeah, so I think you definitely hit the nail on the head with that for sure.
Yeah, and also like if I think I'm like trying to stay positive around the subject because like it's kind of scary as well, but I think if we can use it as a tool, it's really great. And I don't know. I heard some music that's AI and it's good, but it's not like it doesn't like hit me the right way, as
Right. Maybe
other.
use it sparingly for things we need, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to talk about is obviously being a female lead singer for this band. What would you say is kind of the hardest part of being a female artist in rock today? I've talked to a couple other female singers in the last couple months. They seem to think we're making a little bit of ground. It's getting a little bit better. What has your experience has been like?
Well, for me, it's only been positive, to be honest. I haven't met any like negativity around it. And I have an amazing band with me, which is just men, but
Right.
yeah, but for me, it hasn't been anything. But we're also in the starting of this project, with our second album. But right now I'm staying positive, and I think we're evolving, and I don't know, maybe I'll answer differently in like a year or two, but right now it's mainly been positive, to be
Look,
honest.
that's good to hear. Definitely, yeah. I know. There's been it's kind of hard in the U.S. still when sometimes either when they make the change to a
Yeah,
female singer like Emily Armstrong, stepping into Linkin Park, which is doing a
yeah,
great job, and they're
yeah,
killing it and they're selling out shows. But there was a lot of back and forth on that in the beginning, whether that was going to happen. I just
yeah,
spoke with Tessie Pearson from Hell in the Club, and she's doing the same thing. She's stepping into a role that was originally done by a guy singing, and now she's doing a great job. But sometimes it takes that transfer time to do that.
yeah,
And I just know back in the day, being a female artist was very challenging. You know what I mean? I think that's changed. I hope we're moving in the right direction. With that, I would really like to say that.
yeah, me too. But I also think it's kind of different when you're stepping into a band where it was a male singer before. But also like if it was another female singer, I don't know, because then you already created like a sound and you have a fan
Yeah,
base.
I always say like that's the hardest job when you change a singer from a band. That's
Yeah,
that's like the hardest thing. That's the face of the band, the sound of the band,
yeah,
the public facing image of that band. When any band changes it's always a gamble when they
yeah,
do that, right? They change the singer from Black Sabbath to Ronnie Dio. That
mhm,
eventually worked out. It took some time. You know what I mean? But some of the other changes don't work. They changed the singer for Judas Priest. That didn't work. They went back to the original,
yeah,
Rob Halford. But I think that's the hardest job when he changed a singer in a band. You
yeah.
never know what's going to happen.
And people are naturally like kind of scared of change, I guess, as well. So that's also like a part of it, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I totally agree. So, what do you guys got planned next? Is there other things going on? Are you putting together more music, or what's the next steps for you guys?
The next step is one more single release, and then the album comes out the 6th of February. And then we're doing a release concert in Oslo in February the 20th. And then we're gonna play some live and work on some new music. Yeah.
Excellent. That's what I was just going to ask. That's going to be my follow up. Do you have any dates or anything you want to talk about, or any shows coming up you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure. The release concert is with Rosario, and it's at John D. The 20th of February. So that's what we're looking forward to. And then we have a festival at the border of Norway and Sweden. And then we have some other stuff coming up, but then I'm not allowed to talk about that yet.
Okay. All right. So maybe keep us in the loop if when you can give us a little more information. Obviously, we'll be
Yeah,
following you on social media as other folks out there could do. Follow them on social media. Can check that out. Can check out their music. I assume you're on all the streaming platforms, right?
yeah.
Spotify and everything, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna soon be selling vinyls also for the new album.
And that'll be available at your website, lilylowe.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very cool. Yeah, I really like the new track, like I was saying, Haunted House. And we also have the link for that on our website at talkingaboutrock.com in our Hall of Video. So if you folks want to check that out, you can check out the video there. Very, very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lily, for stopping by and chatting with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so that wraps up this episode of Talking About Rock. Thank you to my guest today, Lilly Lowe, and our listeners. We hope you're doing your part out there by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Lilly, again, thank you.
Thank you.